When I was little, I thought everyone that worked at Macy's had money because they dress nice.
Yeah, they
No,
do.
they hella broke because I wasn't making shit at Macy's.
Yeah.
But they would make you buy the suits and all that. Man, my credit card bill went to like $12,000.
Really? My mama instilled that in me when I was young. She was like, don't go out getting credit cards because you already in a situation you're not there yet. And you don't want to mess your credit up when you get ready to get something. And I kept it that way because a lot of people back in the day, they was using their kids' social security numbers to keep the cables on, the light bill on. Craziness.
No, that's hey. Some people watching this like, hey, that's me. Some people raising their hands to this stuff.
Yeah, but I don't, no shade, but I just wasn't that type of person. I didn't want to be that type of a mom, and I knew one day I was going to be something. I just didn't know what it was going to be, but I didn't want my credit messed up either.
My girl just came back from her birthday weekend, hanging out. She's at the 595, but if you're looking for her, by the time you come here, she'll be gone. Thank you so much for being back on the show.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm glad to be back.
Oh yeah. First off, we gotta say, who did we forget to shout out? That we gotta shout.
Shout out to my mother. Shout out to my mom. My mom has always been there for me, always will be. So shout out to my mother.
See, right away we did it. We done.
We did it.
It's almost like I have this new segment that I'm doing where we just have a conversation. Okay. It's almost like a trucker's confession / therapy session where we're just talking out how we feel. Right. On the first episode, we talked about going from fast food, working there to 11 years later, owner op, working for Landstar.
Right.
And now you're good. Your truck's still about a month and 27 days till it's paid off.
Yeah, about 2 months.
So we'll keep it back at 2 months.
Yeah.
It wasn't too long ago that we did this interview.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
So what's going through your head? I mean, it's pretty much almost paid off. Where are we at?
I'm excited about it. It was definitely a journey. It wasn't easy, but it is doable. So I will say that. But I'm just excited. I'm ready to be rolling, making some checks without a truck note pretty soon. So I'm excited about that.
No, that's good. So let's talk about like the 5-year the 5-year game plan. Where do you see yourself? Because and why are you saving up all this money? A lot of times we talk as people just about working our asses off, but I mean honestly, why are you doing it?
What you mean, like?
Have you figured out why you're saving up all this money and just why you're working so hard? Like, what's the next step, if any?
Well, saving the money is all about, when you're an operator, you don't have a 401k, you're not offered that type of stuff, so you have to put some money, back for retirement.
So do you have an IRA? Did you set one up yet?
I haven't. I'm using a separate savings account to do that.
Oh, that's fine.
I haven't decided which was the better route for me, but I guess once I pay the truck off, that's my next step. Now, that's something definitely I want to do. Because time go by so quick and you done spent all this money, on repairs and just life itself, and you only got, but a certain amount saved up. So after the truck's paid off, I expect it to really, really grow pretty quickly.
No, I definitely, and I'm so happy that you still have the mindset of wanting to work hard, because what happens to a lot of people, and it happens to me too at times, is we work so hard for something, and as soon as you get to the finish line, you're like, I'm done. It happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But really, it's all that hard work that goes to this time, where now you just got to push a little bit harder.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true.
And it's tough. It's tough. I know a lot of people that are listening and watching this. You work 5, 6, 7 years. You finally pay off the truck, and at that point, you're so burnt out, right?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people tell me that they was burnt out. They don't run as hard as they used to. They kind of got lazy. They don't,
It's the truth.
They're taking a lot of time off, but you can't really be like that. You still got to kind of push a little bit. I think I'm gonna still run pretty good, and then when I think I got to that level of comfortability for as account wise, then I can kind of back off a little bit. But you still got to save though.
Hey, I love it.
You can't blow money.
I love that you push that. Because a lot of people come out here like basketball players. They're making all this money.
That's what they are.
You know, they know what gross is,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't really know what net is until Uncle Sam come to their door and let them know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
See, that's the part people don't understand. Yeah, just because we make $100,000 a year, that doesn't mean we bring that home.
Agreed.
You know, and with being an owner operator, you got, you know, breakdowns, tolls. You know, you got a lot of stuff you have to pay for. So it's good. You're making more money than you was making before, but you're making a better living, a better comfortability. So I don't know. That's like a long conversation because people just basically got a bad perception of it.
Yeah, you know, I used to be that dude. I ain't gonna lie. I thought having the newest Jordans, having jewelry, having all these things, um, you know, let people know that like I was a somebody. And it's so funny that if you ever have enough money to actually pay off something, or you have enough money to just go and buy it, you don't want it no more, because at that point you really know, like, do I really want it or not? And I felt like when I was growing up, like, oh, I have to get this car, because if I get this car, everybody's gonna see me for who I should be, or who, what have you, right?
Right.
Man, I thought I wanted a Lambo my whole life. Right now, even if I had the cash to buy one, I'm like $250,000.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
I could go out, shoot. I could do some things with that money. I could, you know, not on the personal side, I could do a lot of things with that. And on the other side, I could help out a lot of people too.
Right.
You know? And it's like, it's so funny as, I don't know, did I mature overnight? I don't know what happened. I don't know if I just start, you know what it is actually? As I'm thinking out loud, I was just like surrounding myself around people that had money, but were just really cool and humble about it.
Right.
Because when you see a guy or girl that got 100 times the money you have, and he got on clothes from Walmart, you almost feel embarrassed to be around him with, you know what I'm saying, like expensive designer clothes. I don't know, that was kind of like my first thing.
Really?
Yeah. I remember I had a little meeting. I thought I was cool. Had my Corvette, you know what I'm saying, like driving up in a little suit. I thought I was the one. And I went to a meeting. I met with like the CEO of a big trucking company just to talk. This dude got more money than life itself. And the dude had on some shorts. I mean, he probably was wearing $15.99 on him. You know what I mean?
Wow. Okay.
Like, he was just chill.
Yeah.
And he drove a Prius. Like, I felt so, like I kind of felt dumb. You know, I mean, just keeping it real. Like,
right.
I was like, man, this dude over here got more money than baby Jesus. I'm over here thinking I'm somebody with a car note. Own money. You know, and so it's, I don't know, for anyone that's listening to this, when you really get to the point where you just don't give a damn what people think and you just start really living for you, it's like, that's kind of like, you know, that's where I'm at now.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
You know, are you living for you though?
Yeah, I'm living for me. I'm doing everything that I set out to do. I almost done accomplished all of my goals. So I'm trying to figure out what step 2 is after this truck note is paid off.
Look at that face of yours. What's the next? What's on your mind?
I'm not sure. I keep thinking about it. I keep going back and forth. I just haven't really narrowed it down. I have to, I guess, really dig deep down. But my mother told me, she was like, I was talking to her about it. She was like, baby, one day it's going to come to you. But, you know, it's like when? Because this is almost, you know, around the corner now. So I don't know.
Is it a financial goal? Is it a personal goal? Like, what's mostly on your mind these days?
What you mean, financial or personal?
Like, is your goal more on the business side, or is it more on like your personal life side, like something you'd like to do more on your life side? You know?
On my business side, I think I'm at the finish line with that.
Hey,
Yeah.
I love that.
On the personal side, I'm not. Yeah, I'm still kind of empty there. I'm not sure where I want to navigate next. I mean, I don't know. When it comes down to something like that, it's kind of like I'm kind of speechless because I don't know. I'm still kind of trying to figure it out. I guess that kind of sounds cliche a little bit. So.
Nah, shoot, I still don't know who I am. I think it's kind of cool when you don't know who you are. I think by the time the day before you die is the day you should figure out who you are. Then till that day, we should keep on gunning and discovering and running and going for something, you know?
Yeah, well, that's true too. That's true.
You know, I think you're doing okay.
Well, I appreciate it. I really,
You know,
really
I
appreciate
really
it.
do. You know, you know, people like to highlight, you know, women in trucking. You are just badass, man or woman. I don't care.
Right.
You're grinding hard, and you making it happen. And as a proud American that I am, because I tell you what, when Jenna told me let's go to Thailand for a wedding, and there was no running water, I was like, oh hell no! I'm happy to be in America. Okay, like we
Right.
don't really know what we got.
Right.
I went into Uber one time and I had this dude that was from China, and he said he made more money in a day Uber driving than he did for 1 month's salary in China because he was making the chips for the iPhone, and
Right.
he said after 1 month he would get paid $30 when it comes out to the equivalent. So 1 month would be like so. So people out there are broke.
Right.
You know, can you imagine making
No.
$30 a month?
No, but I've always heard about that in these different countries on what some of the people over there go through. I couldn't imagine it because you're thinking you lacking a lot of things over here just because you don't have, and a lot of people like to envy people
Yeah,
off the things that they have. But like I tell anybody, it may be their time. You can't envy somebody because it might be their time. You never know somebody's story. So when you seeing them shine a little bit or move up a little bit, that doesn't mean that all the hateration and all this other stuff should go on. It should just be congratulations. That's why I said in the last video, you have to surround yourself around people that's going to be happy for you, that motivates you,
yeah.
that's going to move you. You don't need to be around somebody, oh, I don't think you should do this, or I don't think those type of people I wouldn't want in my space.
No, I got you.
So, yeah, definitely.
No, that's the truth. You know, it's
Yeah,
like, because I get it. Like when you really broke, all you got in your mind is making money. But like we talked out camera, once you start making some money, now what? Right?
right, right. What's
Like,
the next move?
what's the next move? And I think that for me, I'm just talking for me because I'm always doing soul searching myself. Is like happiness.
Oh, definitely.
You know what? And when people say I'm happy, you know, are you really happy? You know, and it's like that's why I think about life balance. You know, and that's why I hope for everybody to have.
Right.
Because I know a whole lot of people that make 40 G's a year that are way happier than people that make 100 G's.
Yeah, you're right. But everything is in order, though.
Yeah.
You're talking about happy families.
I tell
They
you.
got their soulmate, they got their kids, they grown.
I know.
So yeah, they really are. I have to say that, yeah,
You
because I
know,
know quite a few.
and it's like you can't have everything at once. Like, okay,
Mm-mm.
people think me and Jenna are doing good. We don't got kids. You know, Jenna's about 40. I'm 36.
Right.
Right? That could be the chapter that we're missing. You know, maybe that's something that could elevate our life to the next level. But if I end up having a kid, I'm gonna be an old ass dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? I might not be able to enjoy the time with my kid as well as the experience that someone that had them earlier. But it's almost like you can't have it all. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like sometimes people might feel bad, like, oh, look, this person is having their kids at the age of 20s or whatnot, but
Right.
they're enjoying their time with their kids, you know.
Right.
And then others, yeah, they're stacking up, but come Christmas time when you in your 70s, it's just gonna be you.
Right.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, that's true.
You know,
That's true.
you
That's
can't have
true.
it all.
That's true.
You know?
You basically kind of hit that right on the head. You know how like somebody can say something and it makes more sense. You already thinking that, but you just don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I definitely feel you on that because
No.
I'm there on both ends.
No, I know. And so
Because I had one young and then
uh,
had one older, so yeah, definitely the experience is different.
it's different, right?
Yeah,
You
very
know,
different.
but I don't think you'd be where you are if you didn't have your kid when you were younger, though. That struggle, that hustle.
Yeah, I don't think so either, honestly, because I see, not everybody, but just some. They're older, but they still got a like mind of 20 something,
Yeah.
you know. So I think my kids, for me, matured me. The oldest one definitely matured me. And then after I had my second one, yeah, the maturity level definitely came on because I noticed, like, you know, events that I probably would be up all night.
Uh-huh.
I'll be ready to lay in somebody's bed at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. You
Yeah,
know,
I heard that.
like I got other things I gotta do.
Of course, you're like, hell no, I ain't going to a nightclub. Shoot.
Right.
You know, we gotta wait on that. I got
Right.
things to do. You know, any advice for people that have their kids younger? Any advice for them?
Me personally, my advice would be having kids later, because when I had my kid, I was still a kid myself.
Mm.
You know, so I feel like, you know, when you, especially me coming from a background where I was the only child,
Mm.
you know, it was kind of hard because I wasn't used to somebody needing me or wanting me or wanting to play with me, and you know, all these
It
other.
was different, huh?
Yeah, it was really really different for me. So it was kind of hard for me, but you know, I would definitely say wait till you get older. That's just my advice off, you know, my experience.
So that's great advice. You know, I even though I don't have kids,
Hmm.
man, I did not know who the hell I was in my 20s. I barely knew who I was in my 30s.
Right.
You know, so if you can get married, wait for that shit till you're like 30 at least. You know, till you figure some stuff out. Live for you a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I definitely would recommend that.
You know?
So yeah, because you know, with my daughter, you know, it's kind of like now with the second kid, you know, it's a little bit, it's easier now. And I think, you know, because I got, you know, I have a good career.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I'm able to do things for her that I wasn't able to do for my first kid, you know?
You know, when we talk about that, I don't want to get into, you know, touch any strings, but what things were you able to do for your daughter that it was hard for you to do for your son? What was like the hardest things you did?
Just going out of town, taking them places. You know, the only thing I could really do for my son back then was kind of like throw birthday parties, you know, buy nice clothes, make
Yeah.
sure he had nice shoes on his feet. But outside of that, I really couldn't take him nowhere.
Yeah.
I think the only place I was able to take him was like Carowinds. Because, you know, even back then, it was like, you know, okay, you got a little bit of money,
Yeah.
but then you got this hoopty car.
Yeah.
So it's like the hoopty car ain't gonna take you all the way to where you need to go. So you got to rent a car. So all of and then a hotel to stay in. So all those things came into effect at that time, and I just wasn't making the money. And I was a single parent, you know. And on top of that, you know, I wasn't getting any child support or anything like that. So it was a struggle.
Man, I tell you, it's like just hearing your story. It's like, you know, and a lot of people could probably feel that too.
Oh, most definitely.
I just, you know, I always play the blame game. Like, I had an old ass, you know, truck, and then
Right.
people told me, dude, your tire's about to pop for like 8 months. And so the one time that I'm trying to go to work, and then the tire pop, and then I'm all mad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm all mad. Like, why did God do this to me?
Right.
He know I'm broke as shit. What's going on here? And,
Right.
and it's almost like how you talked about saving.
Mhm.
It's like the mindset changes when you're a little bit more disciplined. I wouldn't even say responsible, like disciplined. Like, look, don't buy a car if you can't afford the insurance, right? Don't buy a car if you can't afford the tires. You know, I think there's something proud about if you got a car and the tires pop. It might not be a BMW or Mercedes, but if the tires pop, you don't think twice. You just take it and go get it fixed.
Right.
That right there is more of something to be proud of than some of these. I helped the dude the other day roll down a nice Mercedes, and then he was rolling a nice Mercedes, and he had 4 spare tires on it, and I'm like, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then his tire popped, and he's like, hey man, can you know? He was like kind of waving me down. I was trying to help him, you know, but in my mind I was thinking like, you got 4 spare tires on this kind of new Mercedes, bro. Like,
Right.
you might need to check, you know.
Right.
Maybe get yourself a Honda or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's
Right.
nothing wrong with that. I got a Camry at home. I love that, you know.
Right.
But it's like that mindset, right?
Right. I didn't even have a nice car back then. It was like a Dodge Neon. Like it wasn't nothing to.
Dodge Neon.
Yeah.
But the Dodge Neon paint, I remember, was so bad that the hood would always start discoloring.
Mine's didn't.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, after a year after I got a newer car,
Yeah.
somebody hit me on my way going to get my daughter. I had that car for 11 years.
Damn.
And somebody, it was still my car. I still enjoyed driving it. You know, it was kind of like I don't know.
What was your biggest like um, like a happy moment in your life where you bought something that was yours? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that it was just like it was just next level for you. Like you did it for you. You know what I mean? When the game started changing for you a little bit.
The car all day long.
Was it?
Yeah, it was the car, cause I was able to walk into the dealership and I seen the car online. I went there with the truck and trailer next day, pulled in there with the truck and trailer, and I inquired about the car, test drove the car, and
So
it
you
was
mobbed your truck and trailer.
yeah, cause it was enough room. I had already looked at it on
You already know
Google.
what's up.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
we test drove, and she was like, Miss Cassie, what you think? I was like, yeah. She was like, all right, well, we'll get it, delivered over there to Columbia, because I found it in Augusta, Georgia.
Yeah.
And I think that was the moment. No money down, boom.
You're like, whoa, you got good credit now?
I always had good credit now.
Oh, that's good because I
Yeah.
always had bad credit.
Yeah.
I wish you would have taught me that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you
Don't
the
get
truth.
no credit cards. That's what it was all about.
I'm telling you, I was working at Macy's, and man, the Catch-22 there, they make you feel like you got to dress nice. Because when I was little, I thought everyone that worked at Macy's had money because they dressed nice.
Yeah.
No, they hella broke because I wasn't making shit at Macy's.
Yeah.
But they would make you buy the suits and all that. Man, my credit card bill went to like $12,000.
Really? My mama instilled that in me when I was young. She was like, don't go out getting credit cards because you already in a situation you're not there yet. And you don't want to mess your credit up when you get ready to get something. And I kept it that way because a lot of people back in the day, they was using their kids' social security numbers to keep the cables on, the light bill on. Craziness.
No, that's, hey, some people watching this like, hey, that's me. Some people raising their hands to this stuff.
Yeah, but, I don't, no shade, but I just wasn't that type of person. I didn't want to be that type of a mom, and I knew one day I was going to be something. I just didn't know what it was going to be, but I didn't want my credit messed up either.
Man, why can't I talk to you when I was like 17? Like, why can't we have this conversation? Man, my credit has been so bad my whole life. Now it's good.
Right.
Because I understand that it has to be good.
Right.
I ran into a situation, girl. So check this out. This is a personal situation. I wanted to buy my parents a house. Right. I came up on some money. I'm this business guy, blah, blah, blah. And at the time, I went bankrupt, right? Like what we were talking about offline.
Right.
And my credit went to shit. The house was $180,000. I had $150,000 cash, right? Really? So I saved up. Man, I went to the bank. They were like, "Nah, we can't loan you 30 G's." Because I was like, "What? I'm putting down more than 50% down."
Right.
What you talking about? They're like, we're looking at your past history. We can't even trust you with $1." But then,
wow,
I fixed my credit, and then I came back like a year later. No
Same
money
house?
down. Different house.
Okay.
No money down. Take the house. Wait, I don't gotta give you nothing? No money down. So I'm telling you, in America, at least, having good credit is very helpful.
It is.
It's very helpful.
It is.
And so I'm just glad we're having these conversations because sometimes people are like, where do these conversations go? But if you listen closely,
right,
you could get some out of this.
Yeah.
So, real quick, back to that. So you get the car. How were you feeling like the first day you sat in your own car? Like this is yours, and like this is not a hoopty car where it's gonna break down. This is what you actually wanted. Like what was that feeling, or how did the car smell? Describe to me what was going on.
I was excited because I got back home. I had got my mom to pick up my car for me, actually, because I wasn't home to actually pick it up. So I did the paperwork, but I wasn't there to actually pick it up. So by the time I got home, it was Mother's Day weekend. I'll never forget it. And got in the car. You couldn't tell me nothing. I mean, it was just nice. Leather interior, cream color, red sports car. It was very, very nice. It was very, very nice. I can't remember the smell. The only thing I remember was popping the sunroof, using the cool seats because it was summertime.
Yes.
So yeah, it was definitely a great moment for me. I was excited.
Was it one of those situations where every time you parked your car at a mall or wherever, you always kind of look back before you hit the alarm? You know what I'm talking about? Like you hit the alarm like,
right.
Wait up, that's me?
Right.
Oh
exactly.
Shit, that's me right there.
Right.
That's how you should always feel about anything you buy.
That's true.
I don't care if it's a truck, I don't care if it's a scooter. You
right.
better look back You'd be like, damn, okay,
Right.
okay,
Because I always wanted a luxury car, always, but finally getting one, yeah, definitely.
Man, you look good in that too. I mean, I tell when Jenna, she when she drives the Jeep,
Mm-hmm.
they don't give a shit about me in a Corvette. They're looking at her in this Jeep, and they're like,
Hair
damn,
flowing and stuff.
shoot,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
man, congratulations to you on
Well,
that.
thank you.
I really mean it. This these conversations are great because um, people need to know that you can make it. Like and you would not be the person you are without your struggles. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely a fact.
Growing up broke is a blessing. I'm telling you, it don't feel like it at the time, but you look back.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It
I
doesn't.
can't even know what you were going through as a single mother and just working. How many were you working 2 jobs back then as a single mother as well?
Yeah, that's when all my struggle was, with my son. But I think around the time he was about 11, that's when I started truck driving. But from the time he was born up until that point, yeah, I was working 2 jobs. He used to come to work with me when I was working my fast food jobs.
He would come to work?
Yeah, he was coming to work with me.
That's cool that the manager and stuff were cool about that.
Right.
That's good.
Right. So
he's a truck driver now, right? We learned about that in part 1.
right.
And he watches this too.
Yeah.
So
he say he watches. He's
you
a
think
fan.
he remembers those scenarios a little bit? Or no?
Oh, I know he remembers.
He does?
Yeah, I know he remembers. Yeah.
Then he got some hustle and hard work in him too.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. They were mad at me because the last episode we did, they're like, you put a picture of her on the truck and this and that. We didn't see the truck. I mean, is that something that we could see?
Yeah, we could see the truck.
I'll blur out everything else. We don't got to show numbers. I don't need everyone trying to knock on your door.
I'm telling you.
Because
well, I'm still customizing, so I ain't worrying about that. But now let's keep out the numbers.
Yeah, we'll keep out the numbers. Now, is it harder being a lady truck driving? I mean, I hear this a lot. These topics get thrown around a lot.
Right.
But do you believe that it's harder in this day and age for women versus men? Just the way the industry treats this and that, specialties, just your thoughts about that,
Me personally, that's kind of hard to answer. But I know when I first started, some men gave me a hard time. I never forget when I first got my lease purchase truck, I had a license plate tag said real women drive big trucks. And I had parked in a parking lot. I'll never forget, it was across the street from a Petro. I can't remember what interstate that's on to save my life. I want to say it was 65.
Yeah.
But somebody had snatched my, cut my tag off.
Cut the tag off?
Yeah, but I was asleep. I was in the bunk, so it was, it had what you call those things?
The zip ties?
Yeah, zip ties. So they could have easily got their little pocket knives and cut it off. Yeah. And it wasn't until I, inched over there across the street to the Petro, washed my face and all that, got me a cup of coffee, and I came out in my truck in the fuel. I'm like, where my tag at?
In the fuel aisle?
So, no, I was asleep.
Oh,
so,
you were asleep?
Yeah,
Okay,
so when I did my first walk around.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm still kind of groggy, so I didn't think nothing about it.
Yeah.
But once I, got myself together that morning, when I came back out after creeping across the street, because, we got to stay up on the 5 miles per hour before we hit that clock on.
We already know. That's a different conversation.
Right. So I came back out, my tag was gone. Like somebody stole it. And I didn't know. I can't say I'm thinking a man did it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking a man did.
You did?
Yeah, I'm thinking a man did.
It was me.
You did? No, you stole it?
It wasn't. I was like, hell no, she ain't gonna do this. Click. No.
Yeah, but
hey, you know what would be a twist if it was a lady driver?
Yeah, but I would never know. That's the thing. I would never know.
But in your mind at that moment, you thought it was one
been,
of us.
Yeah, it could have been a guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, that's fine.
Because I kept getting a lot of different feedback from men. It was like, somebody would say something snobby. I'll never forget when I was at a distribution center, I was helping this guy back up because he had helped me back up. So I was helping him back up. It was a tight area.
Yeah.
And he was close by a W9. So the dude was backing up. I was like, if you want me to, I'll spot you, on your passenger side. And so guy comes out of nowhere with this old lady and was like, all right, don't allow him to hit nobody's truck now. So it's like, really?
That's crazy.
Yeah, so you get feedback like that. But I think for the women that's out here now, a lot of them do talk about their airlines being cut,
It does
or
happen. I got
yeah,
my airlines cut one time.
yeah,
But I
or
was in like
somebody pulling
Virginia.
their pin just because they got into a parking space before them. So yeah,
You better check your pens. I don't care. The hateration can be real sometimes.
that's what I tell people, especially if they new. Check your kingpin. I don't care if you've been in that bunk. Get up under there and visualize. Don't be sitting there doing that tug test, because that ain't always guaranteed.
I got you. No.
Yeah, so.
That's. Would you say that was the most hate you ever got in the trucking industry? Was someone cut the sign?
No, I had somebody helping me back up, and they slid my tandems all the way forward. Excuse me, correction, all the way back, and it was harder for me to back in.
What if they did that to you?
Yeah, the truck's out. He's saying he was helping me, get in, but no, it actually made it harder for me to get in. I haven't had my kingpin pulled. I haven't had my lines cut, but just stuff like that, I would say.
I've had my kingpin pulled and my lines cut.
Really?
Yeah, but many people just don't like me, because I'm happy all the time.
Yeah.
People don't like people that are happy all the time.
I was just about to say that.
It's just the truth.
Yeah.
And people like making excuses for stuff. I hear this quotes all the time, but like the big quote that people always say that I do enjoy is the one, just be so good that they can't ignore you. So I changed that be so good to just work so hard that they can't ignore you. Everybody knows I do YouTube right now.
Right.
And I do YouTube. Like, I hear 9 to 5, and I just chill
Right.
and wait for people to come in and try to do my thing. And when they don't come in, I'll fly to a truck show every week. I say it in silence, but like, if you see the show somewhere, like, how the hell does he have a video up every day? Because just work so hard that just people can't ignore you. But if you have a true passion, then people will see it.
Right.
Because it's easy. I think in life it's easy to say you work hard. It's easy to say you have passion.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's show it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so in your life, you've been showing it this whole time. Because I could tell you don't talk much about stuff.
No.
So that's why, I appreciate you for being on this trucker confession. People see the confession, they're like, oh man, she got to dish out all her relationships. No, it's just trucker confessions about how you feel.
Right.
About life, the world,
Right.
trucking.
Exactly.
The only thing you and I got in common is we understand sacrifice from trucking.
Right.
But I believe everybody got a life that they can. Everybody's life could be a book. Like, everybody's life is so unique. Like, we pass by so many interesting people all day long, but it's just, do they open up to you or not?
Right. Right.
Because I appreciate you opening it up a little bit.
No problem. No problem.
No, thank you so much. Is there anything that you want to leave people with at all? I know we shout out Mom in the beginning this time.
Yeah.
But anything that's on your mind?
I'm just gonna put out there, and I'm gonna go back to the newbies, because I think most of them need the most encouragement out of all. If you're in school and you're training right now, be patient. I know it can be difficult or hard, or sometimes you just want to give up. Just please, please, please hang in there. You can do it. If you're just not starting out being solo, you just finished training, I know it's scary in the beginning, but you can also do it. Just hang in there. Remember everything that you taught, and keep it between the lines.
Hey, that's what's up. We're good on that.